VersTEAv197.
Hello, hashtag VersTEAv family, and welcome. It's week 197. I'm Aaron Mack, here with my good friend Basic Complexity, who stepped away for just, hey, Basic Complexity, he's right back going, he's waving. All right, super cool. And this is week 197. Share, subscribe, and share again. Thank you. Also, very quick side note before we go on to the benefits of number 7 with basic complexity. I wanted to say that I don't know who won the Super Bowl or anything like that. I think I heard it was like the Kansas City Chiefs, but I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm not one of
it
those
was.
gays. But anyway, some gays um, love sports. I don't really follow sports. But I must say, Cheryl Lee Ralph, Queen, Cheryl Lee Ralph did an outstanding job with her version of Lift Every Voice and Sing for the Super Bowl. I think that was so beautiful. And I'm not sure if like Jay-Z had something to do with that, but whatever, it was like, yes, yes. Anyway, basic complexity, take her away with the number 7, my friend.
Okay, so number 7. The thing about 7, besides the fact that it is my favorite number, um, coincidentally or non-coincidentally, however you want to look at it, it rhymes with my name. So yeah, I just always like 7.
The songs of the week and my newer songs of this week is none other than the Kerry Roberts song True North. My true north, you give my life direction. Anyway, that was from 2017. And I remember I first fell in love with that song in 2017 when I heard it while I was living in Mount Vernon in Baltimore. For those who know anything about Baltimore, Mount Vernon is the gayer part of town. It's known for being a gay part of town. And what makes it so cool was like that was my first time actually living in an area that was like the gay part of town. And it's not like it was so gay because well actually it did have a higher than average percentage of same gender loving individuals, which I think was very cool. So that was part of my positive memory with that song. And also, Kerry Roberts' debut album came out right before I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis back in 2010. So I also have some really positive memories and memories of encouragement that came from that album of hers in particular at that very point in my life. Anyway, basic complexity, your older song.
Yeah, older. Um, my older song, and I'm sure, well, some of you probably remember this, by Brian McKnight, the song Back at One. And what really caught my interest about that song before anything else was the music video. And I'm not even gonna go into detail about it, but I think you all should check it out on YouTube, maybe. But it's actually a very meaningful song.
I love it. I could imagine. Now, what's so interesting, I don't quite remember that music video. Now, I'll have to say that was back in the day when, music videos were not what they are today and that it's a commodity that can be pulled up at whim whenever. Like unless you caught it on like 106 in Park or something like that, you just didn't see it. So but I'm not saying that the song wasn't on 106 in Park, but I'm
Mhm.
saying that I didn't catch it because then
Like,
also you have to watch the entire 106 in Park to see who's number one because I'm sure he was number one. Anyway, but I do remember that song and I do love that song. Brian McKnight has had a number of exceptional music videos in his career. Anyway,
um, yeah, and all right. So just to sum this up about the music video, I'm not even gonna go into extreme detail, but I'll keep it short. More or less, the song or in the music video per se, I think he is kind of like a spirit or whatever after his plane crashes. So you see, you know that if you pay attention, you realize the people who actually died are not really there. Um, but you see all the first responders responding to the plane crash, and then you see people just calmly walking through the field like it's nothing. So you realize why that is.
and that's actually why I don't remember that video because honestly, and this is a thing about me, when it comes to I don't think that I handle death well. And when it comes to videos like that, I I would deliberately avoid it for that purpose. And
Yeah, but
another
the thing,
example, a song that I would love the melody to, but I never really gave myself a chance to listen to it because of that was Bone Thugs and Harmony's song Crossroads. You
yeah,
know, like I couldn't get with that. And something that it doesn't focus too much on the death aspect, so I watch it. Nevertheless, it does have that aspect.
yeah.
Montel Jordan's song, "What's On Tonight." Oh my gosh! Although maybe it's because I love that song so much, but in the video, it does that same thing where he's like, he comes back as a ghost to his girlfriend because he was a cop that got shot to death, and it was a lot. It was a lot. But yeah. So that's why I don't remember that video because I just don't. I have trouble with stuff like that. Call me
But
ridiculous.
I will say it was actually really tastefully done.
They were all tastefully done. I'm not
No,
saying that
that is
they're anything
true.
other than tastefully done. you, you you make that sound like it was what. And what I was about to say was gonna be a joke, but then I'm like, but we're certainly getting a lot of that nowadays, so I'm not gonna make that joke. But anyway, all right, my friend. Did you have anything else to say about that video back at one?
um, nothing more than I already said.
All right. So the topics for the week are hashtag manifest music, hashtag unnoticed complexities, hashtag uninformed sheeple, hashtag necessary predecessor. Basic complexity, are you ready to get this show on the road, my friend?
There we go. It was just setting things up, and I should be good now. Yes.
Hashtag ManifestMusic at Kamisha Jones. Hashtag VersTEAv197
I had a girl ask me in an interview one time, she's like, we like to hear you sing Free Yourself and Bittersweet. And, what are you going to do now? And I said, well, are you in a relationship? She says, no, girl, but I'm looking. I said, well, if you keep singing Free Yourself and Bittersweet, you'll never find it.
Wow.
You'll never find it.
Yep.
So you have to, energy, you have to put good things out there. You have to speak life. You have to say what you want. I had a girl ask me in an interview one time, she's like, we like to hear you sing Free Yourself and Bittersweet. And, what are you going to do now? And I said, well, are you in a relationship? She says, no, girl, but I'm looking. I said, well, if you keep singing Free Yourself and Bittersweet, you'll never find it.
Wow.
You'll never find it.
Yep.
So you have to, energy, you have to put good things out there. You have to speak life. You have to say what you want.
All right. So we already established the orders before the show. So I'll go first with this one. And the timer is just, where is the timer? I talk like Storm from X-Men. Anyway, my initial reaction also is my connection because, wow. And my immediate memory, as soon as I saw this, was in my mid 20s. There was a time that I was playing only positive, happy music, And interestingly enough, in that time, I actually found a new and happy and wonderful and beautiful relationship. And it's like, wow, okay, all right. But eventually, I got to the point that I was like, I really missed commiserating with my sad favorite songs, you know? I missed that. And I hesitated to listen to them again because I was like, no, don't go back to your sad songs because that'll ruin everything. But you've got to keep the positive songs. But the other part of me was like, but I really want to listen to some of those sad songs again. Ironically, just about as soon as because what happens, and this is why it's a thing. I would play the sad songs, but I tend to be obsessive when it comes to songs, and I would just repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. Like cause anyway. But yeah, and I eventually convinced myself, well, oh, it's just an old wives' tale. That's just a myth. That's not true. And I dug deep into my sad songs about breaking up and leaving and all that stuff. And guess what happened? I know you don't have to guess. That's the whole point. We broke up, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. And after the breakup, I really dug into my sad songs then, lesson clearly not learned. And I was back to my regular honeymoon stage cycles, We're deeply, madly, truly in love. It's wonderful. Oh, it's just a little bit less than that because something seems like it's awful. I got to break up. My honeymoon stage cycle. Anyway, another former boyfriend of mine, and this goes to the Fantasia song Free Yourself. We dated, and that was 2004 that Free Yourself came out, and I actually loved her song Free Yourself. And whenever I would be upset with him, I would sing the song like, oh, free yourself, free yourself. And eventually, I freed myself from him, regrettably. And we broke up. And anyway, positive energy is important. It's not just a theoretical thing. Let's do it. Positive energy. Basic complexity, Kevin.
Okay. And all right. Now I got confused. All right. Yeah. So with topic A, Fantasia made a excellent point when she said, because when she said that, because you really have to fully put in the effort, if that is what you seriously want.
And for my one and one, I will take a minute and finish what I tried to speed rush through Go Speed Racer. But yeah, that was back in the day when I would not work to stay and overcome something with my partner. I was just like, if it's not perfect, it's wrong. Next, the perfect one is on the way because music tells me that through these songs, and I'll use that to segue into this. The fact that unfortunately, it really seems like a lot of our popular music tends to be focused from a negative perspective, focused on from a sad uh, point of view. Like, oh, well, I guess I can overcome the sadness that was you. You know, we don't, sometimes we do, but we more often get the sad songs than we do the happy songs. And it's just like the news. You know, we much more often get the sad news than we do the happy news. But that's
Yeah.
another story. Anyway, again, let's do it, family. Is positivity is not just theoretical. We can do it. Now, my one sentence is I don't know if it's chicken or the egg, but people seem to love commiserating. Instead, let's share the energy of joy. Let's jam my New Orleans, Louisiana sister Lettucey. It's complexity. What's your one and one?
Oh, okay. I definitely looked over this. It's a tad bit lengthy, but yeah, this is what I have. Um, you have to really get yourself into that zone if you're looking for a relationship. And actually, as minor as it may seem, the music you listen to does play a role. And that's all I have.
It affects how you feel. Absolutely.
Eh,
All right. And you will go first for this one. And this is letter B, which is hashtag unnoticed complexities at the gay dating coach, hashtag VersTEAv197
Yeah, I'm Lil Booster manager.
Little Bootsy,
Yeah.
Little Bootsy the rapper.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up on him. Hold on, let me show you.
What is he doing?
He's on. I just got his Facebook back open, so he's on Facebook Live. This is first time on Facebook.
Why are they saying he doesn't like gay men if you're his manager? Does he know you're gay?
Yeah, I'm openly gay. Everybody know I'm openly gay. I manage a lot of people.
Okay.
Everybody know me.
Okay.
So why he's misunderstood? So he got little kids. This the whole thing. He got little kids, and he really don't. He feel like when they turn on cartoons, it's like a lot of gay stuff on there, and he don't want them to be pushed. You don't want your kids just to see two men just kiss, 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 because in their head they gonna think, that's like it's normal, but he just don't want them to be just like, damn, this is what I got to do.
But it's okay if a guy and a girl kiss. It's okay if they pick up on that.
Now, you know what I mean.
No, I
like,
want clarity. It's a yes or a no. Then we're gonna move on though.
I mean, it's normal. A guy and a girl kissing, so that.
And it's normal for a guy and a guy to kiss.
it's complexity.
after hearing this, it really seems to me that he is just trying to play cover for Lil Boosie. Um, we have to keep in mind that his manager, his manager, has to make his client look good because that is how he gets his money. That's how he makes money. Um, uh, wait a minute. A very good point was made in regards to children because not many um make a big deal when a man and a woman kiss, but or so um they got to really chill out with gays. Um to really chill out with gays making everything sexual in their mind. Um, People see what they what they see and make up whatever weird stuff they want to see or yeah weird stuff they want in their mind, and that's all I have.
All right. Now, my initial reaction is also my connection. And I say, the complexities, the absolute complexities. And there's more than meets the eye. And while I am not a fan of cancel culture, I'm also not a fan of blaming cancel culture, the trend that we have now, to like blame cancel culture for everything. It's like, okay, okay. Uh, anyway, but thinking about gay manager, I think that's cool, and I was going to give points for Lil Boosie having a gay manager, but I realized that if I were to give Lil Boosie points for having an openly gay manager, I would also have to give people points for stuff like saying some of my best friends are black. You know, it's like, okay, okay, gotcha. So I get it. I get it. So as many points, I guess, as can be given or whatever. And I'll say, as far as Lamont White, our friend of the show, Lamont White, he is 100% correct. And many feel that seeing gay love is too much, but not because seeing love is too much, but too much for the kids, but just because they're uncomfortable with homogender connections. Now, that actually speaks even more to what we talked about last week or a couple of weeks ago with Laverne Cox and 26. And it's like, nah, y'all don't give a, I don't, I was gonna cuss, but I don't have to. I'm pulling back. Y'all don't care about the kids. It's really just because you're scapegoating the kids. It's not about the kids. Just like when they were like the trans, making the trans bill, you have to be at least 26. 26. That's not about the kids. That's just about your discomfort. Just like people being uncomfortable with it. Anyway, we have a lot of ground to make up. Our love, same gender love, was all but ignored in media unless we were playing the clowns, and until recently. And our media, kiss, 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 kiss. is increasing from 0 kids. So we are not equal in terms of that. And we have a lot of ground to make up. Okay. Now, basic complexity, what's your one and one?
All right. Yeah. Uh, all right. My reaction personally is just that unless it's something extremely sexual, then I personally really don't have care really at all. And one sentence would be look at things the same way, straight or gay. And that's all I have.
All right. And my one sentence is sometimes most anti-gay people, the sorry, sometimes the most anti-gay people are the most gay curious people. And sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes people around them just won't or can't inform them otherwise. All right. And then I have a piece for our timeless tea, but we'll get to that later. A special timeless tea question. Basic complexity, are you ready for the next topic, my friend?
Yeah.
Hashtag UninformedSHEEPle. New York Post at Rennie_nostalgic. Hashtag VersTEAv197 On screen text when you write a song and Aretha sings it.
Looking out on the morning rain, I used to feel so uninspired when I knew I had to face another day. Oh, you made me feel so, so, so good inside, and I just wanna be. I wanna get that man who makes me feel so.
On screen text New York Post. Aretha Franklin's song A Natural Woman blasted by fake transgender activists.
Whew. Well, I will say that my initial reaction, Carole King is an industry OG, quite frankly. Yes, she is. And she is one that you do not cross. You do not cross Carole King. You do not
Nope.
cross Tommy Mottola. You do not cross Clive Davis. You do not cross Beyonce. Those are people you do not cross in the industry at this point. And I'd like to imagine that Carole King said to the people who started that ridiculous, uh, and I can get through it, but who started that ridiculous statement on Aretha Franklin claiming that it was anti-trans, that song. It's like, you're ridiculous. I would like to imagine that Carole King said to them or had her people say to them, you will not do that to my friend Aretha. Not only will you apologize and retract that statement, You will call yourself a clown, a stupid clown. And their response was like, yes, ma'am. Is the New York Post okay for us to call ourselves clowns? You know, we're only satirists. It's only satire because that's what the article said. They backed it up like, oh, well, sorry, we were just saying that because we're just satirists. That's it. Uh huh. And it's like, my connection, I don't really feel badly for them because I was confounded by the ridiculous con I was confounded by their ridiculous conjecture. And it even I was yeah, that it was even a thing because it started gaining steam. You know, people were like, "Oh, Aretha Franklin's song Natural Woman is anti-trans. It's anti-trans." And it's like, "What?" Because even if it was satire, Aretha Franklin's song You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, that's the full title. Actually came out in Aretha Franklin did it. And she remade it in 1967. She remade it in 1967. So chances are that's before even you were born. Okay? So it just comes across as like a hateful, nonsensical reach, an extreme reach to try to claim that Aretha Franklin's You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman is just anti trans. Like, what? What? Basic complexity, Kevin.
All right. After hearing this, that group, real or not, um, is full of BS. Um, and that, to put it nicely, um, I find it extremely interesting that this magically became a issue decades after the song was released once again in 1967. Um, and personally, I do not have any life experience that relates to that. And that's what I've.
And let me just say in a 1 minute, and then I'll do my one sentence.
Mhm.
FYI, that was Carol King in the video, and she was winning that the presidential I forget what they call it, but it's a Kennedy Center honors, a huge gala. Uh,
Yeah.
the- our choir performed there once for when Aretha Franklin won it, but all of not won it, not like it's a and the winner is kind of thing. But when Aretha Franklin was given that award, you know, it it's a huge honor to get that award. And Carol King is the one who wrote that song. But I believe that that group was like, oh, well, we're just going to tear down Aretha Franklin because she's dead now. So it's not like
Right.
anybody will be able to defend it. You know, it's a posthumous tear down. Like, what? And Carol King was like, no. Not only will you apologize, you will call yourself a clown. And so my one sentence is I'd like to imagine, I'm repeating, I'd like to imagine that Carol King said, you will not do that to my friend Aretha Franklin. Not only will you apologize and retract those statements, you will call yourself a clown, a stupid clown. Basic complexity. What's your one sentence?
um,
Or your one in one, one in one.
no, it's really just one sentence. Um, and yeah, this is probably not always the case, but every expensive. A lot of times it is, but not always. And that's what I have.
All right. Now, I forgot to say my disclaimer. Truth be told, I actually have no idea what transpired between Carol King and those people. I have no idea. I was not there. If anything transpired between them. But anyway, anyway, read the article on the New York Post. And are you ready for our last topic coming from our friend Bodyguard and his dope new song his dope new song is called Selfish, and it sort of focuses around that what this guy will discuss. But are you ready? You're up first this time, friend.
All right.
All right.
Hashtag necessary predecessor at bodyguard and hashtag VersTEAv197
Like right now, I'm on my journey. Like I don't want to be with nobody. I'm having a great time with myself. I love myself. I do for the first time in my life. I could cry. I love myself. I'm learning.
All right. Base complexity. That was a real quick one.
Yeah, it was. All right. So basic, basically, um, he just made a very good point that everyone needs to understand. Now, basically, you need to focus on yourself first before becoming dependent on someone else. And one thing I learned fairly young was to try my best to tackle an issue alone, if even possible, before asking for assistance. And that's all I have.
All right. And I will say my initial reaction Bodyguard's latest single, Selfish, is officially and truly my jam. I love that song and I repeat it quite a bit. And the video is also excellent. And I, di- I dig the message that he's saying in the song and even with this video about the importance of accomplishing your tasks even when others don't understand your dreams. Keep pressing, count on you. Okay. And for this post, romantically, I say the solo stage is important. It is important to have, as you were saying as well, it is important to have that solo stage where you learn to fend for yourself, if you will, right?
Mhm.
But my question is, should it be a deliberately finite amount of time that you spend in that stage? And I go back to what I said last week again, troubled people, senior people are not treated well in this society. And there are people who steal and all of that stuff because they don't feel that the um, troubled people, physically troubled people, and the senior people the senior people are actually worth anything in life. So they give them Anyway, some people, not all. Anyway, my connection is my COVID hospital stay in 2021 scared and motivated me very much. I remember one of the nurses, he actually slammed my head into the wall, and I he was trying to make a point, and I couldn't. I just wanted to cry, but I couldn't, and I just felt trapped, and I felt badly for those who just stay in those situations with such people. And it's not a that particular hospital thing. It's a the business in general. The business in general, because it happens everywhere. And I believe that building legacy is important. And just like I discussed recently with, I was discussing how mostly the gay narrative, oh man, I'll finish it in my one sentence. Basic complexity, what's your one and one?
I it's really just one, but you're the you're the power in yourself to accomplish more than you know. That's all I have.
I dig it. Yes. Building legacy is important, and the narrative used to be for us gay people or same gender loving people that if you were that way, you will be destined to check the single box for the rest of your life. And that's what people were learning to be comfortable with. And outside, like there's a minority in our community who would be able to do otherwise, but that was not a common thing. Now, know and love yourself first. Then, healthy building personal, friends, and romantic relationships and love legacies can all be good. Build those things after you learn to be selfish for yourself, focus on yourself, build yourself, then build those connections if that's right for you. I'm not saying it's necessary for everybody, but if it's right for you, and also keep the other stuff in mind. Anyway, my one sentence is at the end of the day, you know what's best for you. Perhaps meditate on it, then do that. All right. Now, did you have any final words to say before we enter the timeless tea? Because I actually had a formal question for timeless tea. And since it's just the homos talk show, this question is going to impact you.
I have nothing.
All right. Who went first for the timeless tea last week? Was it you or me?
I honestly do not remember.
I think it was you, so I don't mind going first. And so, FYI, of course, now you know, but FYI, as in the audience, whoever in the audience might not know, the gay dating coach, his Instagram page, he does something called Shoot Your Shot Wednesdays, where openly gay people will shoot their shot with other gay people by introducing themselves and selling themselves to the group, right? And that's what that dude was doing. And technically, the video, the edited video, was just showing that part of the discussion. But actually, he presented himself as a potential for dating. And I my question is, if he was otherwise your type for interest, what would you need to be interested in dating somebody like him? Dating Lil Boosie's manager, who says that Lil Boosie is only uncomfortable with having to see gays on TV kiss, 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 you know? And my statement for that, because I said I would go first, that whole thing was the question. And I will say, one, the brother is attractive to me. I'm sorry, he is. And would I give him a chance? I've given dudes like that a chance before. The dude who was the dude who wanted to free pimp me to his friends, who I dated since my early 30s. Um, he is kind of that way. So there is a sect of homosexual people who feel that homosexuality is in abundance too much. And I could deal with that. I mean, especially in his case, to the extent that he's openly gay. So we don't agree on things. There are things we don't agree on. I don't agree with his explanation for Lil Boosie. No shade to Lil Boosie, but I don't agree with that. But I can agree to disagree with my partner. Basic complexity, Kevin. What do you say, my friend? Could you date him? We haven't
No.
done the what did we call that? The T he wants for real. Is he a T you want for real?
For me personally, no.
Anyway, could you date
I
somebody?
say,
Oh,
I
go
say
go
that
ahead.
because I wouldn't put up with all that mumbo jumbo he's talking. Like, you wanna, if not you personally, but if he wants to defend that, go for it, do your thing. But I don't want to be involved.
But that's his job. That's how y'all. That's his half of the income in your house, you know. And he just comes home at night and he's like, yeah, baby, loving you, hugging you, and he's like, baby, yeah, Lil Boosie, he just the only reason that he doesn't want to see gay on TV so much, guys, kiss, 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 is because he has a kid. And that's his reason. And that's what I believe. But let's you and I be okay doing whatever we're doing. You wouldn't be able to do that with him. You would be like, no, you Republican wouldn't be able to do that.
Actually, no, I just wouldn't.
You know what that reminds me of? Years ago, and I've spoken about this before, but they were saying people need three things to make any relationship work. And as long as you have these three things, you'll be able to make it work. One is a mutual desire to make a relationship work. Two is a mutual attraction to each other's uniqueness. Three is a mutual passion for the same realm of things. Even if you don't agree on them, you're both passionate about it. And the example that I would always give is like a passionate Republican with a passionate Democrat. You can make it work, you know, because you're both passionate, about politics, even though you don't agree. So with that, it sounds like you're passionate about the his perspective on the not don't say gay bill. Well, I guess kind of, but his perspective on that, and he is passionate about defending the man that he manages, which equals passion. But you're saying you wouldn't be able to make it work. You wouldn't be able to make it work with a Democrat if you were a Republican, or a Republican if you were a Democrat. Different question.
Yeah, nah, I see what you're saying. I mean, that would really depend on like how extreme they are, or
Passionate.
how
He's
extreme,
passionate.
yeah, like really passionate. I don't see that working.
He's coming home with a "Make America Great Again" hat, a "Make Heterosexuality Great Again" hat. You know, and it's funny. Like that would be the next thing. Heterosexuals be like, "Oh, we need to make heterosexuality great again." Anyway, but yes. Oh, those days. But you wouldn't be able to make it work.
Just on the base level, probably not.
What if Michael B. Jordan was that dude who was like, "I like kissing you, Kevin, but I don't think that it should be on TV." But he's giving you
that
some good kisses.
that is a little different
How?
because with that I would kind of agree with them a little bit. Like when it comes to public kissing, really, I've never ever been a fan of it, straight or gay. I've never really liked it.
Well, you can move right on to the continent of Africa, because there are a number of places there. And that's the thing. Like, we hear, like, oh, they're so anti gay, they don't want to see gay people kissing in the street. But the true story is they don't want to see anybody kissing in the street. And it's not like it's a dictatorship saying no kissing in the street, but it's people feel that that's a little too much, and it's like you need modesty. So I get that in terms of modesty and being like, I don't like public displays of affection, but this is just, so you don't even want, well, although like you said, you don't even want to see heterosexuals doing
Right.
it ever. It's all normal.
Allegedly.
No, there's no allegedly. What you mean allegedly? It is normal. It's all normal.
Um, okay.
Guys kiss guys, guys and gals kiss gals. It's all natural love. Or
That part
you
I
can,
agree with.
right. So why wouldn't you be able to find a common place with that guy on some, well, at the end of the day, both of us don't like seeing displays of affection littered throughout media. You couldn't accept that as a, hey, we're both passionate about that.
All right, we could both be passionate about that. Yeah.
But unless he's Michael B. Jordan, it's a no go.
You keep throwing his name out there.
He's in your trifecta. You could throw my trifecta men at me. Terrell Carter, Baby Blue. Who is the third? Man, Falls the bad guy. Uh-huh. That's my trifecta man. Anyway, but yeah, I'm throwing your
Truthfully,
trifecta at you.
in all honesty, I really do not remember everyone in my trifecta.
Yeah. Yeah, because ironically, even though both of us have had a huge crush on Raz B, neither one
But,
of us put Raz B in our trifecta. But I think that was just because we were sort of rushing getting it done. But
well,
we both ignore Raz B is like he's above our trifecta. How's that, right? With his fine stuff. Anyway, but
he on a
yeah.
whole
So
different level.
he's a whole nother level. Absolutely.
Right.
So what well, I don't know. But yeah.
And you just made me think of something. It's to me anyways kind of funny. Whereas me, out of all four guys from B2K initially, whereas B is the only one that don't have any kids
You know,
or a girlfriend.
and I'm not saying that we
Well,
can draw
that
any
we know about.
that we know about. That we know about.
Right.
Absolutely. Because as I always say, celebrities are not entitled to know. They are not obligated to let us into their personal lives, you know. Maybe
Right.
he's just throwing us off. Who knows? Whatever. But I will say this. I remember when B2K, before the Millennium Tour, went on the Real, and the guys of B2K, they were asked some question like, "What's been the most substantial change in your life?" J Boog, having a child has done the most to change me, and I'm a brand new man. Lil Fizz, having a child has changed me and made me a brand new man. Omarion, having a child has changed me and made me a brand new man. Rasby, going to China changed me and made me a brand new man. And I was like, oh, baby, my Rasby, I have some kids with you, baby. Anyway, but yeah, that was just an interesting thing to see because I was like, that is, and again, we have no idea about his sexuality, none,
True.
right? That just felt like the kind of situation that a same gender loving man would get in with his hetero counterparts. Everybody talking about having kids and a wife, and you talking about maybe a husband, maybe maybe an adoption. Now, homosexual people can have kids, and
Yeah.
they can have kids uh, through surrogates, or they could even, you know, some guys know how to get it up to stick it inside of a vagina. That's a real thing, and they can have kids. You know, cool. Anyway, all right. We're
The
just over
way
an
I
hour.
see it,
Last week makes up for it. But
uh,
You know, if you were about to say something, say it. This is Timeless Tea, friend. Take it away.
I was just gonna say the way I see it, technically, I could do that with a female, but on the other hand, I don't want to.
You can get it
But
up for a vagina.
yeah.
Huh. Now we don't have to dig too deeply. So you know what? I won't dig deeply at all. Oh, I hope that I didn't screw that up. Anyway, um, did you have anything else for Timeless Tea?
Not that I could think of.
All right. Well, hashtag VersTEAv family. This has been week 197. Hashtag VersTEAv197. I'm Aaron Mack. You can find me, Aaron Mack, at VersTEAv.com. That's AARONMCK at VersTEAV.com. And you can find hashtag VersTEAv all over. Just search hashtag VersTEAv. You can go to www.versteav and pull us up there as well. Basic complexity. Where can we find you, sir?
Um, Actually, I was thinking about this the other day, but didn't do it, so I didn't write down the stuff. But definitely could be found at basic complexity at VE at firsttv.com. So basic complexity, BASICCOMPLEXITY at firsttv.com. And once again, that's VersTEAV.com.
It's like two and a fifth words combined.
Well,
Verse, no, yeah, two and a fifth. Verse TV. Anyway, but yeah. All right, my friend. We'll talk to you later, social media family. Peace. Oh, see, you're under the thing again. Peace.
um,
VersTEAv.com.
no.
Other
See,
side.
why and is
It looks like you're getting it. Perfect. Peace.
there?
VersTEAv.com. Have a good night. Stay blessed. Good night, family.